Tom?
Yeah, buddy.
Tom, are the Dolphins still scoring? Are they still scoring on my team, Tom?
They are, Brandon. You just got it. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Vance Joseph will be gone soon. It's okay. It's okay.
Still scoring in my dreams, too.
I know. Yeah, I know. No, I know. But hey. Oh, baby. We here.
We're still steering you into the end zone.
You're in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is a GPS.
Going through. You want to score a touchdown, Tom? Just go on through my defense.
Yep.
Come on down.
Yep.
You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. It's okay, because my other teams look great. Oh, some other football teams I know and love look great. All the way this time, kneecaps in our mouth. Not even going to ever even think about a horse-themed team again. Divorce. I'm filing for divorce against the Broncos. And I'm going to take everything. I'm taking everything.
I think the Dolphins did that yesterday, though, buddy.
Yes, they did.
I think
they specifically took our dignity with them.
Yeah, no, that's gone. No, that's definitely gone. Listen, we all need to be kind to Brandon Perna today.
Nope, give it to me.
We need to.
There's too much kindness. Just talk the trash, because I feel better if you make fun of me, make fun of my team, and you make me laugh.
You did curse the Ravens. Oh yeah, all three of your number one power rankings now have lost. Every single one. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. You had the Lions before that. They lost to the Seahawks. Before that, you had the Chiefs who lost to the Lions. So congratulations, buddy. If you can't even deny it anymore, my friend.
No, the curse is strong. Carl, I got you, buddy.
We ride and we die together.
The longer the Broncos play, the more true that clip just becomes.
That's accurate.
It wasn't a funny thing. It was a prophecy. It was a prophecy foretold by the Poland children.
You're going skydiving, and you didn't realize that it's a tandem jump. And the person you're jumping with has never sky jumped before, ever. Like, they've never gone skydiving. And you're like, we're going down. Like, what? I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be rough. So, we have so much to talk about.
Can we just
no, buddy, I want to actually just ask you like a super legit serious question.
Sure.
Who gets fired from the Broncos because of this? Because what I kept thinking about last night, because listen, there was so much that happened yesterday, right? The Packers, they came back for a big win. Love that. But like the Cowboys, they lost to the Cardinals. The Jaguars, they lost to the Texans. The Colts, they beat the Ravens, though I know there's some ref stuff in there too. But and then, of course, you have the Broncos. But all I could think about was the Christmas game from last year where Baker Mayfield lit him up. And it got to a point where like everyone knew like, yeah, Nathaniel Hackett's probably going to be fired. But like the next day, he was like, no, you got to go. Because now if you allow 70 points, which we haven't seen since the 60s, scored on your team, people like have to lose their job. I know it's week 3. I know it's overreaction, but people cannot keep their job after that. So my question to you is legitimately, like, do people get fired today?
I don't know, just because I don't know what Sean Payton is going to do, how he runs his house, his ship. Should Vance Joseph, specifically Vance Joseph, be fired Today? Yeah. Yes, Tom. I would say he should have never been hired. And it's not even like it sucks because, like Hackett, I kind of like Vance Joseph.
Mhm.
Seems like a nice dude. And I never wish or want to see a coach who, moves their family around, get
Sure.
fired after 3 weeks as well. But when one of the few things that was working last season was your defense,
Yep.
with Ejiro Evero,
We'll talk.
takes such a dramatic decline when your defense literally did like 70 points. You give up 70 points. It's historically bad. You're like, there was 4 other times this happened. 1966 was the last time a team gave up 70 points. I would have to go back and look at these games, but I talked about this with Will. All of the points the Broncos gave up, it was from their defense. They were touchdowns by the Dolphins offense.
Yep.
So no special teams, kick return, punt return, pick six, scoop and score.
Nope.
None of that. It was all the defense. And there was a couple situations where the Dolphins, they got turnovers and they were close or in the red zone. 0 stops. First defense to ever give up 350 or more rushing and 350 or more passing yards. So when I say it was the worst defensive performance ever, that's not like a fan being like
hyperbole.
Upset, right? And week 1, we pulled all those funny stats about the Giants giving up season totals in a single game. This was worse than that. So if you want to make a statement to your team that that's not going to fly, somebody's got to go. And usually you caution about,
Happy birthday.
firing a coach during the season because you're like, what other options are there? Right? Rex Ryan, Wade Phillips, Pagano. Any of those guys are better options at this point. Pagano's been mentioned just because I believe he's from the Colorado area, knows how to coach defense, right? I don't know. And I think Albright put that out. I don't know. But I know Wade Phillips would probably say yes. And I think Rex Ryan was a candidate for the job. He said the Broncos defense was the problem last week. And then they gave up 70. And I'll take either of those chances. I'll take them. Will they fix everything overnight? No, because to be fair to the Broncos, they are plagued with injuries on defense. I think Will and I tried to count how many starters were down. It's like roughly 6 or 7 of the guys you thought were going to be starting are injured right now.
Sure.
So yeah, somebody got to go. Somebody got to pay the piper.
Yeah, because it's like you can't. If you get it's one thing if hey, we lost 27-0, right? Like the Giants week 1
to 20.
Yeah, right. 50 is what, bro? 70 points. As a literal I know you're big on we can't blame coordinators.
No, blame them. Blame this guy,
bro. But that's the thing. They put in their backups and they scored 21.
Well, they put in their backup QB. Mike White's first throw was just a bomb to whatever the fuck his name is, a touchdown.
And it was on Pat Surtain, no? It was on Pat Surtain, no?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna blame Surtain there. I think he's 1, gassed. I think 2, he's not expecting the Dolphins to go deep. Also, there was no safety help there, which the Broncos dressed 2 safeties. And last week I was like, they dressed 3, and the teams usually have 4. Usually dress 4 safeties. Broncos 2. We got injuries there. Justin Simmons not there. Well, fuck it. We'll have 2 safeties back there. But yes, I said this was the worst play I'd ever seen because it was a backup quarterback throwing a touchdown to the guy they brought up over the practice squad against our best player.
Yeah.
So that stings. And the Dolphins chose mercy. They chose to not break the record and kick a field goal for 73 points. I saw somebody tweet out Mike McDaniel, his situational awareness is 0 because he elected to kick the extra point when the Dolphins were up 69-20.
Yeah.
Just the memes were strong yesterday.
They weren't good. Yeah. It was rough.
And
It's just someone needs to go. Like it's one of those performances. And I feel like, Brandon, I know we say this and we've been saying this for about a year and a month now, something around like that it can't get any worse. But I mean this wholeheartedly. Like I think it's peaked now. Like it doesn't last week was bad, right? 16 points week 1. You're like, those pesky Broncos doing it again. Last week it's the Hail Mary, but you don't get the 2-point conversion. That's a big one. I think the bus stops here.
Are you trying to, what if he kind of sucks me right now?
No, buddy, I already did that. And I'm so Sean, dude, I watched those press conferences with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. Oh, man. And Sean Payton is hurrying along the reporter who's trying to give context. He's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I don't care. I answered that question. What's your question? He's like, okay, whatever. Next question. He is furious. Because dude, that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
Yeah. It is very embarrassing to have the worst defensive performance ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many coaches right now that it's problematic.
And for you to be the guy who decided Vance Joseph was the coach for the defense, that's on Sean Payton. It's
you have full say as Sean Payton. You have full say. You get to run the team, and it's just bad.
It just goes back to Broncos fans being weird, feeling weird when the team didn't even really try to keep Ejiro Evero. Mm-hmm. And I know he wasn't keen on coming back, but they could have made him, I believe, an assistant head coach as well. They could have elevated him up to give him that platform to become a head coach in a year or two. And they decided, we'll just go grab Vance Joseph, who's literally never, as a defensive coordinator, coordinated a great defense. He's had 2 pretty good defenses in his career.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, man. It is a weird thing to watch a beatdown that bad. And you mentioned the Christmas game, because during the stream, people were asking, when it was I don't know, 49 to whatever, they're like, is this worse than the Christmas game? And at that point, I was like, not yet.
Not yet.
I was like, that game was in prime time on Santa Claus's birthday. So it was more brutal because there's more eyeballs on it. And then by the end of the stream, I was like, yeah, this was worse. It was worse.
Yeah.
It was way worse. Our defense gave up too. And you can't find a single silver lining for the Broncos defense at this point. It was the Dolphins found the one thing and they just ran the ball, which they did. Obviously, Devin A-Chain had 200 plus rushing yards in his second game ever.
Yep.
But they threw it well too. They didn't tackle.
No.
Tackling was like watching high schoolers out there again. I felt like watching against the Dolphins offense. And I don't even want to be too hard on the Broncos because I feel bad for the players right now.
To what you retweeted, I think. Who was it? Was it one of your D linemen who was just since I've been here, all we do is lose?
That was Garrett Bowles. He's I've been here 7 years and all we do is lose. I've never won with this team. And And the weirdest part is Russ played fine.
So that's what I wanted to get into, because there was people in my chat afterwards that were like, you think Russell Wilson's gone? I'm like, it ain't Russ.
Yeah.
Again, is he perfect? No. He looks better than he did last year.
Yeah. The Broncos can't really run the football effectively yet. And that hurts. In a game like this where you need to slow down the other offense by just not having them on the field, it's we couldn't really do that. But Russ has been better this year. So What quarterback are you going to ask to keep pace with 70 points?
You can't. I mean,
it's
like
not fair to ask a quarterback to keep pace with 50, with 40 points. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is time to blow it up. Like,
oh yeah,
there's not an asset on the Broncos at this point that is safe. Not a knock on that player or that coach, but like when you lose this bad, you have to rethink everything. And I saw Mike McDaniels' locker room speech after the game, and it was great. He was basically saying we played up to our standard. He's like, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what happens outside of what we do. We play to our standard. Mm-hmm. And he was like, what we can't get caught up in is complacency. It's week 3, guys. Like, we did a lot of things well on offense today, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen every week. And we have like, it was perfect. And then the locker room was very happy for Bradley Chubb, who the Broncos traded to Miami.
Oh my God.
And,
even Vic Fangio. I mean, like, there's got to be a level of satisfaction that's there too, because he was former there too.
So, you know, I think it meant something for Chubb, because we used that pick to get Sean Payton. And Sean Payton also, when he was doing TV stuff, said Tua would be benched for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep.
Boy, did that blow up in his face.
Well, it's like what you talk about, right? It's like that. What was it? Like you put it up there, and you're like, "Hey, go! It's bulletin material. Like, this should motivate you." Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was so funny because like I feel like there's a good amount of Broncos fans that are like, you know what? At least like make some history. You know, like just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, just do it. Just do it.
I would have been okay if Mike McDaniel was the guy that got it, because he's like the least asshole like coach on earth.
Correct.
To me, he's the most deserving coach of success because of the way he carries himself. And you know, he's an Aurora boy. He's from Colorado. Love to see him succeed.
And I think you mentioned this too. I think it was Commanders Bills, right? Because the Commanders had a rough day against the Bills. Yeah. And talking about like all these turnovers and all this stuff. There wasn't even any of that in that game. That was just pure like, here's 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, here are 10 touchdowns. So yeah, I mean,
the Broncos had there was 2 Cortland Sutton fumbles and 1 pick. So
I meant in terms of like the pick 6, like we were talking about before. Like, it was just offensive beat down.
Yeah, but even that, like, you look at 3 turnovers and you're like, that's not ideal. You know what I mean? But you see teams win when that happens. They're able to overcome it. And no, it was like, I wanted to be able to complain about some other things that happened in that game. Sure. Denver was robbed of 2 touchdowns.
Yep, I saw
one was a really ticky-tacky call. Yeah, there's like an illegal formation or something.
Okay.
But like, when you lose by that many, I said, like, best case scenario, they would have to 3 times the production they would have gotten from those. If they got 17 points there, they would have to 3x that to beat the Dolphins. So, yeah.
Well, listen, buddy. The good thing is, first of all, the video you put out last night is over 500,000 views already.
We banging.
So
we banging there.
That's it. That's it.
I'm in Grossi territory now, guys.
Oh no, baby, you rocking. We're rocking 4,000 subs since posting that. So, folks, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you check out the new.
And how quickly did you get a Broncos Dolphins reaction up?
So I got the Packers one out first, and the number 1 comment was, "I can't wait for the Broncos Dolphins one." It had like 500 likes immediately, and I was like, "Yep." So I did the post game for the Packers, and then I went and did that one. Yeah, that broke a record. It got 100K in 2 hours. So I was like, "Awesome,
nice, that's amazing."
So yeah, no, that was,
dude, it was so bad. It's like people were just excited to see how all of us react to it, because like during the stream, and I'm going to give Tree crap for this on Thursday. People were like, can't wait to see Tree's greatest game on this. Like, you're telling that to me right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Tree's going to handle this really well. Really funny.
Mm-hmm.
You goofballs. but that was me just being spiteful in the moment.
Hey, you know what?
It just shows like it's just people look forward to how we're gonna handle the worst moments in sports. And
yes.
I think there's
It's
a market there for it.
It's endearing. It's endearing. Yeah, I mean, and listen, like, and it already was said, you guys play the Bears. You play the Bears next Sunday. Like, two teams right now that you could argue are the worst teams in football, because it ain't the Cardinals no more, and we'll talk about that. Because, Brandon, like, if you just lost by, like, a normal amount, like 40-20 or something like that, we're not talking about that today. We're like, yeah, the Dolphins are, like, the best team in football. It is what it is. But now we're robbed because the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals.
Oof.
Who, by the way, Cardinals, yeah, not the worst team in football. Not even close.
No.
Because they were competitive against Commanders. They were beating the crap out of the Giants, and then they blew that in the second half. And then they whooped the Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't show up. And of course, Dak freaking throws a pick in the end zone. And we've talked about Dak on this show of like how much hate he gets. Oh, there's gonna be so much more now.
Oh,
like the Cowboys just did not look good. They did not look good.
You know what? We made fun, but it turns out that the Arizona Cardinals do indeed.
Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you?
They got fire in their gut, Tom.
They got fire in their gut.
I love it. I love it for Josh
in their
Dobbs. I love it for
Yes.
Jonathan Gannon. It's tough when you're goofy and you're an NFL head coach and you're coaching a team everybody thinks is going to be the worst. You've got no room, no leash, and you get a win against the team many thought was certainly the best in the NFC.
Yeah.
Could argue first or second best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals go out and do it. So now you're looking at Arizona like, okay, when does Kyler Murray come back?
Sure.
Like, this could be interesting. And I am happy they got a win because technically I'm still in the tank for Caleb race as a fan. But, I think for Dallas too, losing Trayvon Diggs was just gutted them this week. Their defense was working so well. And that's what was interesting about the Cowboys. That's why we're like, maybe, and not you. You're like, they're going to do the Cowboys thing. It's going to happen. You were like, it's going to be the Cowboys. But maybe they don't do the Cowboys because their defense is good. And they lose Diggs this week. And he was a key part of that secondary. A secondary where a lot of guys were playing well. But yeah, it is going to be interesting. And that division too, like, I guess the Commanders took a big step back. But
we said that, right? We said the O-line is like, that's what I've hated about the Commander. I'm like, their O-line is going to get Sam Howell beaten up. And they did.
9 times.
It was, dude, like, it was insane. Like, they beat the crap out of him.
I think 9. Let me just double check.
It was not pretty, dude. Like, it was ugly, right? So the O-line is, like, not good. But right now, unless the Eagles and Bucks tie, like, this is crazy. We were talking about this a week ago, Brandon. After tonight, unless they tie, there are only going to be 3 undefeated teams in the NFL. And it's week 3.
Wow.
How many Dolphins are the only ones in the AFC? You got the Eagles, you got the Buccaneers, and then there's one more that I'm forgetting about right now. Hold on. It's the NFC. I had it. Don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, literally.
There's 3 undefeated teams. Broncos, Vikings,
49ers.
Winless. There you go.
49ers.
Who are the? Oh, this will be easy. Let me go.
Played on Thursday, so I forgot.
Tank Bowl here. Tank Bowl draft order.
Tank Bowl with the
Bears, the Broncos, the Vikings, the Panthers, all 0-3, and currently the Bengals, right? Okay. Somehow the Bears are above the Broncos in draft order. How's that possible?
Oh, because their margin of defeat is still worse than the Broncos.
Jesus Christ.
No, they're bad. Yeah, no, they're bad.
Strength the schedule.
True story.
Here's the thing about the Bills-Commanders game, too. It was very enlightening as a Broncos fan because the Broncos played a fun game against the Commanders. But when you see the Bills sack Sam Howell 9 times, you feel less good about the 4 sacks the Broncos had, right? Also, the Broncos let the Commanders sack Russell Wilson 3 or 4 times. Bills gave up zero sacks to Washington. Howell throws 4 picks. He was pretty much perfect against the Broncos. Tore him up. Looked like a vet. So, like, the disparity of where the Bills are, a very good football team, compared to where the Broncos are, made evident by a shared opponent. And I hate when that happens to the team you started to maybe think could hang around, could compete with some guys. And the
I didn't forget. I just want to make sure that, the Cowboys were going up against what people said, including Scooter, the diehard Cowboys fan, were the worst team in football, and you still got your ass kicked. Just saying. Just saying. Cowboys fans, we'd come out, we'd play this game, but I'm just saying. You have no excuse. You lost to the Cardinals. You got no excuse.
And as NFL script writing goes, having the winless Broncos and the winless Bears, arguably the 2 worst teams in the league right now, going up against each other week 4, like
we're on prime time, baby.
How could you? We thought, maybe these are 2, 2-1 teams playing for something this week. Maybe one team's good, one team's bad.
We talked about it because they were during the 1:00 slot. They were hyping up the Bears. The Cardinals Cowboys game, but they were hyping up the Bears Chiefs game. And I was like, they must have made these graphics a while ago. Yeah. There is no hype there. And again, the biggest thing was that Taylor Swift was at the Chiefs game and like it just surrounded the timeline, and finding Swifties finding out about like the Chiefs and stuff is just phenomenal. Like that was fantastic. But still, with all that, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Fox was like, "Oh yeah, we got to cut to a different game because this game is so bad. Because this game is so bad." So even with all of that, they still were like, "Nope, we got to cut it." It was bad.
The Bears fans today are thanking Taylor Swift and the Broncos for taking a lot of heat off of them. The Bears got worked 41-10, but you're right. Yep. More people were talking about Taylor Swift being there watching and leaving with Travis Kelce, and more people were talking about how bad the Broncos were in a week where the Bears had a terrible week. Mm-hmm. Nothing looked good from defensive coordinator resigns. Fields has to walk back comments about Luke Getsy, even though they were taken out of context. But just like all the extra shit you don't want, Bears had that this week. Yeah. And then they were gifted some favors.
I'd say. Yeah. I mean, it's just not good. I'm going to do a whole Bears breakdown. I know, Perna, you did a video that came out this past weekend on it too. It's just.
Oh yeah, it's a good week to do it, Tom.
Yeah, it's just
get
not
it
good.
out.
It's just not good.
You know what else Kermit? It's a good week for? Signing up with Underdog Fantasy. Our code GPS. Maybe you can't win while watching maybe your team can't win for you. But sign up at Underdog until October 4th. They are matching your first deposit up to $500. Usually it's $100. First time they're doing $500. So you want to maximize your bonus money to play with. Do it with our code GPS. Link in the description. The QR code works as well.
Hold on, I'll get you something sexy. Hold on.
Give me that disclaimer, Tom.
Where's that disclaimer? Oh,
yeah, that's sexy.
Look at that disclaimed. Look at this disclaimed, you dirty disclaimer. You're telling me all the information I need to know.
Now, we did try to set up.
Oh, yeah. How'd yours go?
A winning pick'em. I lost all my pick'ems Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, these things shift, but which one did we build? Let me see here. I forget when we built. Oh yeah, we built the one where Javonte Williams was our bonus. So half point for Javonte. Got it. Took Justin Herbert, higher, lower on fantasy points. Got it. Justin Jefferson took higher on fantasy points. Got it. Took Russell Wilson higher on fantasy points. Got it. And who was the guy I said, I swear, if he curses me, it was Derek Carr. I took higher on fantasy points because it was set at 15. And I was like, you know what? I don't know about the Packers defense quite yet. Don't know.
Yeah.
I think Derek and the receivers are clicking.
Yeah.
Of course, he gets hurt. 8 fantasy points. That was the one that cost me. I did another all higher picks, but Sam Howell and Derek Carr both got me. Anyway, we tried. Right now, Underdog.
You tried.
It's the 500. They do $100,000 Sundays. So you play in the higher, lower games, pick their featured player, and you're automatically entered to win $100,000. Don't even have to win that. And they've got their mystery players every week. So new customers, when you sign up, you're going to be given a mystery player to make your higher or lower picks. And I wish you all great luck when doing so. This is the old graphic. I got to download the new one, but you know.
We have some other games to talk about, like a bunch of games to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Colts and the Ravens.
Woo!
So we'll just kind of go through here. So Justin Tucker, first of all, missing a field goal is like, what's
61-yarder? You can't hit it, Justin?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, Tucker?
Washed.
What are you doing?
He's so washed now, that
dude.
Tucker.
Lamar Jackson had over 100 rushing yards. Like he played well. Went 22 31 at over 200 passing yards. And yeah, I know that there's some referee issues.
What happened with the reffing in that game? I'm not familiar.
So there was like 2, I would say, like big ref. Oh, and also Perna cursed them too. So that also cursed them as well. Because there was like 2. The one that I heard the most about wasn't even with this game. It was with the Browns game, and it was that Amari Cooper catch that was like out of bounds. But here, there you go, Bucci. Perfect transition. Was talking about it's a mix of like, hey, there's so many injuries. The offense didn't do as well as they should have, and the refs also sucked. So it was a perfect combination of just sucked them.
Yeah.
And so now that's where they are. Gardner Minshew had a pretty nice day.
Yeah. First quarterback to self-safety sack in the back of the end zone and still get the win. My man, Gardner Minshew. Great throw to Michael Pittman in overtime to get the Colts in the field goal range. And it's weird in a game where you've got Justin Tucker kicking, who I think is the best kicker to ever do it.
Sure.
But Colts kicker, Matt Gay, 4 kicks over 50 yards in that win. I think they said as the first kicker to get 4 over 50 in the same game, including your game winner there. So that's impressive. I'm just waiting for, like when a player doesn't play well and fans find like the one thing they did in their free time, and they're like, maybe if you stop playing video games and study the playbook, you'd get more wins. Or, it's like that sort of thing. I'm waiting for Ravens fans to say, maybe if you stop practicing opera singing, Tucker, you wouldn't have missed that 61-yarder. I want the anti-opera practice tweets, and I want them now.
Zach Moss, too. Over 120 yards on the ground.
There you go.
They just fed him the ball just over and over. I mean, like, the Colts they seem like a solid team. Like, I'm very excited for Anthony Richardson to come back and be like, hey, like, what could they be this season?
As chaotic as everything was in Indy, they are playing just solid football. They have exceeded my expectations because when you have like Jim Irsay and all the controversy with Jonathan Taylor and things felt like a mess, that usually trickles down to the team. But
could be.
Credit Shane Steichen for having this team like ready to play every week. Down your starting QB and you get a win against a good Ravens team. Like it's probably the most impressive win this week. Colts over Ravens.
I don't know, dude. Texans beating the Jaguars is pretty big.
See, it's big, but I think that is more signaling that the Jags aren't as good as we thought they were going to be.
Listen, I get that. I gotta give props to CJ Stroud. Like, I have to, because he did really well last week. And then this week, he had another good game. And it just seems like every week he's getting it. Like, those are great stats. Like, those are really, really good stats.
Yeah.
And so.
And Tank Dell. Most receiving yards for a Texans rookie receiver ever.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have the best offensive line. You know, like last week, Stroud was getting beat up a bit. But, yeah, like, this is an impressive win. And yeah, I agree with you about the Jaguars. The Jaguars, like, I'm looking at them going, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, they struggled. Trevor Lawrence was, not great. I think here for the Texans, though, like, when/if their running game ever clicks this season, they're all of a sudden a very good football team. Like,
Damian Pierce,
Stroud's not getting much from his running backs. And you want that for a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing the best of all the rookie QBs right now.
Yeah.
And Texans fans should be optimistic. And I know, like, I think Coleman was all over Tank Dell, like, all offseason because he's a Texans guy. So cool to see one guy, Brett Coleman, liked not get cursed immediately, So maybe things are turning around there.
Yeah. But Jaguars, you do worry a bit. I mean, their red zone offense was just non-existent, but it was against the Chiefs. So there you go.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce.
The Jags have had 3 tough matchups. It's the Colts, and I think the Colts are better than we thought. Then the Chiefs, and now, hey, the Texans are actually good. But I think I got caught up in the fact that Trevor Lawrence led that comeback in the playoffs. And I gave him a pass for having those 3 interceptions in the first half or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a little bit of both of those quarterbacks. A little bit of not great, make too many mistakes, and also pretty good sometimes.
That was one of the greatest plays. Like,
No. That's Andrew Beck, former Denver Bronco Andrew Beck, who I cut it out of the episode, but I'm like, in the midst of all of this Dolphins scoring, I see Andrew Beck take a kickback for a touchdown. Oh, Andrew Beck, not good enough to be the Broncos fullback. We bring in all of these slow-ass blocking tight end / fullback players. Sean Payton says, not Andrew Beck. Get that guy fucking out of here. And then I see him take one to the house, Tom.
Yep.
That was more salt on the wound. I'm happy for Beck. Don't get me wrong. Like,
give Taylor and Wilson more touches.
Yeah, that one hurt. It's just like literally every decision we make backfires.
Yeah.
Andrew Beck got a touchdown. Fangio embarrasses us. Mike McDaniel embarrasses us.
Yep.
Like, what's gonna? Justin Fields, we didn't draft him, so this week when the Broncos play Fields, he's gonna have his best career day ever. 200 rushing yards, 200 passing yards. First QB to do that in the same game, probably. Like, anyway, not to make it about the Broncos, but that one hurt. Shout out Beck.
It's all good. Chargers Vikings. The Vikings bailed the Chargers out. Like,
I gotta give you credit, Tom. I saw your apology tweet, and it had me going. I was like, what did Tom say during his stream that he's apologizing?
Tom never says anything.
I was tired, but grade A plus tweet.
Thank you.
I forgot to trash the Vikings. Was the
I did, because last week I had my Skololololo in 2, and so much happened. The Packers came back, right? The Cardinals game, the Broncos. Like, I was just doing a lot, and I really didn't get to absorb it. That now the Vikings are 0-3, despite Kirk Cousins playing out of his mind for the most part. Obviously, he threw that interception at the end, but Justin Jefferson 1 yard shy of 150. You would have had that in 3 straight games to open up the season. But no.
I got the
Yes,
the best thing I saw, because I created a new award for in my winners and losers, and it's the Kirk Cousins Award, Tom.
Okay.
And it's going to go to the quarterback every week who does everything right and his team still loses.
Yep.
This play right here is, somebody said, this is what it's like to be a Vikings fan. Or, Bynum is every Vikings fan. So this is a play where Minnesota should have had an interception.
Yep.
Goes through the hands of the defender. Chargers catch it in the red zone in the fourth quarter. And that touchdown after that led to the Chargers winning.
Mm-hmm.
So, a poor Kirk Cousins, man.
But dude, they also can't stop fumbling the effing ball.
Yeah.
Dude, the whole week, there's no game plan. We're not installing any game plan. We are just learning to hold on to the football. That's it. That's all we're learning all week. Because if the Vikings don't fumble the ball, legit, they could be 3-0. They legitimately could be 3-0 and at worst 2-1.
Yeah, and they
Good.
stop the Chargers on fourth down. They get another chance to win, and they just can't get it in there, man. This is the team they were last year, though. They were just getting all these wins.
They were getting the wins. Yep. It's the turnovers which are the difference. Now they're shooting themselves in the foot a little too much. And now the thing is, too, which I love.
That. 475 yards of offense each. Wow. Exactly the same. Sorry, I like stats.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, guys, 70-20 was bad. It was really bad.
It's not great. Yes, Johnny Barks, Cam Akers will totally turn that team around. I mean, Madison is just not the guy. It's just it's not the guy. But yeah, the best part is there's Vikings fans who are like, I wish we won at least a game so we don't have the same record as the Bears, because we're not the Bears. There's that kind of separation. It's I'm not with him. I know we have the same record, but no, we're not. We didn't come to this thing together. We did not. The Vikings can't wait to play the Bears just so they can be we know we're better.
We are the best 0-3 team.
Yeah.
Last year they were the worst team with the best record, right?
Lions Falcons.
Detroit is back.
Yeah.
Back again.
Do you know who had a really good game, Brandon? Do you know who had a really great game? Besides Aiden Hutchinson. Do you know who had a really great game on the Lions?
Who?
Brian Branch. You know how I know that, Brandon? You know how I know that?
Yeah.
Because every single time that Brian Branch does anything, the amount of tags I get from the Lions subreddit, on Twitter, on Instagram, so much so that after the chaos that was everything last night, right? The whole day, I made a post on the Lions subreddit. It's 12:30 in the morning. And I just write, I swear, the amount of times I get tagged on this sub regarding Brian Branch, if he gets an interception this Thursday, see you soon. It's the number one thing on the Lions subreddit.
Nice.
The number one post.
Yeah, Lions, Detroit.
It every time. Did you see Brian Branch? Hey, Brian Branch had a really good game. Hey, did you see Brian Branch versus Bijan? He did well. And you know why Brian Branch was going to be good versus Bijan Robinson? Because he was really good at stopping the run, even in college, which is why I wanted to draft him. Would have been real. You know what? Brian Branch could have been really. And listen, I like Jaden Reed. It's nothing against Jaden Reed. But I'm just saying, I would have really liked Brian Branch last week. Would have liked him to stop Bijan Robinson last week.
Yeah. See, that's that similar opponent comparison that I'm talking about.
Brandon, you don't understand. This Thursday, is Lions versus Packers.
I know.
If Brian Branch gets an interception, like, it's going to break me. Right? It's gonna break me because the Packers were the one who traded with the Lions so that they could draft Brian Branch, and I really wanted Brian Branch.
Yeah, that stings. It
It
stings.
is going to
You
hurt.
colluded against yourselves.
That's what I said. We colluded against ourselves.
Dude, what's alarming for the Packers, I know you guys got to win, but just 44 rushing yards allowed by Detroit in this game.
Yep.
They took away the Falcons' strength,
Yes.
and they sacked Ritter 7 times.
Too early.
Aiden
but
Hutchinson, I don't think he had a sack heading into this game. He was pressuring the shit out of quarterbacks,
yes.
but he yet to get the sack, right? And then how many did he have in this one?
He was a monster.
How many?
He was a
sacks?
monster.
He had 2 in this game. I think that I'm correct there, but yeah, good bounce back win for Detroit. Because if this were last season, they would have found a way to lose this game, right?
Mm.
And I think
their defense is better than it was last year. 100%.
Yeah, they're making strides.
Yeah, they had 7 sacks yesterday.
Yeah,
Like that D line was just wild. The Dolphins. Joe Burrow, dude, I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow, like, at all. Like, I had teammates over the weekend that people were saying, like, oh, teammates don't think he's gonna play, but I didn't know if that was BS. But dude, no. A pick six would literally just break me.
Burrow's fighting through an injury. I think they tried to rush him back to be ready for week 1, and it backfired.
Can I talk about my team?
I would love to talk about this game, Tom, because while the Broncos were getting just throttled, 70 to whatever, a lot of people are like, you know what, though, Perna, Monday's going to be fun because Tom's suffering too. You guys can suffer together. And I kept seeing 17-0, 17-0, 17-0. And then all of a sudden, Packers win. All of a sudden, the Jordan Love hype train is gaining steam.
Uh-huh.
So tell me about it. What happened?
All right, listen.
Besides you guys injuring Derek Carr. Purposely. Dirty. Packers are dirty.
I'm pretty sure that's your head coach.
Oh, that's right. Shit. Sorry. I confused that.
But you can't even do that. So really just nothing
You're
going
right.
on.
That's my coach. And
matinee. For 3 quarters, the Packers sucked. They sucked. They were not good. The defense was not terrible, but it was allowing like these long sustained drives, right? The special teams gave up a punt return for a touchdown. That was really rough. And the offense just like couldn't do anything. They went for it on 4th down with like a trick play, couldn't convert there. The offense was sputtering. And here's a legit like concerning thing for the Packers. The Packers have no run game unless Aaron Jones is there. They do not have one. Leading rusher yesterday, Jordan Love. Love. So here's the thing. That is probably my biggest concern besides all the injuries, because heading into this week, right? No Dave Bakhtiari, starting left tackle. No Elton Jenkins, our freaking starting left guard. So whole left side of the offensive line, gone. No Aaron Jones. Leading running back. No Christian Watson again. Jair Alexander had a back injury in practice. He was out. Yeah. Devondre Campbell gets hurt in that game. He goes out. Carrington Valentine, another corner, he goes out. Obviously not as big as those other guys, but legit, like that is 6 full-blown some of our best guys on the team. And I was like, this is going to be tough against a really, really good defense, because they have a really good defense.
Yeah.
So all this happens, and then the 4th quarter comes along, and the Packers, before that, they could have kicked a field goal. They decide not to. They go for on 4th down. They don't get it. And we're like, oh, crap, that's probably the end of the game. When Jameis Winston comes in, the Saints, for whatever reason, stop running the football. Like, they just stopped, and they were having success. They just stopped running the ball. So it didn't take off time. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston, right? Who didn't turn the ball over. but didn't move the ball downfield that much, except for that last drive. They moved the ball down the field. And so they gave it back to the Packers, who scored 18 unanswered in that final quarter. And Jordan Love, it was kind of a mixed bag, especially those first 3 quarters. He had some amazing throws, and then he would miss like Luke Musgrave, and he'd throw a bad one. He threw one that should have been intercepted. He threw one that was eventually intercepted, which is his first interception this season. And then he was just like cool, calm, collected, cold-blooded. And he went down, and some of those throws that he was making were insane. So are there things that need to get better? Absolutely. But for Jordan Love, his first start at Lambeau Field, the Packers were shut out in the first half. The last time that happened in a home opener was against the Bears in 2018, which was also 17-0, which then we roared on back and won that game. Same exact thing here with Jordan Love. And so I'm super excited. I'm very excited to see what this team is going to look like fully healthy because they had so many guys out. But yeah, dude, the
comeback in the fourth quarter, there's a stat about that. Was it tied for the biggest fourth quarter comeback in Packers history or something?
It might be. I don't know the stat off the top of my head.
It's funny because
thankfully he's okay. He's only going to miss a little time, it seems, Carr.
Oh yeah, it's an AC joint. It's just always depends on the severity of that. But
yeah.
It was something to that nature. And I'm like 18 points in the fourth quarter. Doesn't seem like that many points when I watched. Again, I would have to 3x that for my team. At the end of the game when you're as a fan trying to do the math on how your team still has a chance to win.
Yeah.
If we get a touchdown, recover an onside kick.
You would need 2 quarters of that to get close.
Yeah. You couldn't even the math was not there. You needed calculus. And I was not even gonna try to figure it out. But good for the Packers. I thought this was gonna be a tough game and it was gonna be a hard game for the Packers to win regardless. And then Jair Alexander not playing kind of last minute-ish. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, Tom and I are going to be talking about multiple losses on Monday for sure. And I think if you're a Packers fan, the thing you should be most excited about is you got this win with a lot of key guys out, and it's the Saints are a good defense, and you're they shut you out, but when it mattered, you figured out a way to win. So it's cautiously optimistic, and only giving up 1 sack against that Saints defense.
Yep. I'm telling you.
Tackle on your guard.
But this is right. So I'm looking at this season because people are like, oh, can the Packers do this, and this? And I was like, listen, it is 1 game a week. That's it. Well, it's going to be 2 this week. But it's just, let's look at that. And Jordan Love, his performance in the fourth quarter, you're like, what more could you ask for a guy starting his 4th game?
No, not
and going out there and doing that against a really good defense. And it's just hey, dude, he was not perfect, but that fourth quarter, he was freaking humming. And it's young guys. We're missing literally our best players and still able to come away with the win. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
I think Carmi's right-handed, but she will learn to do everything left-handed after I saw what.
Not yet. No, they're not. Not yet. That's not the. If there's a guy they're going to potentially move on from, it's AJ Dillon. AJ, because again, they right now Patrick Taylor saw some more playing time. Wilson saw a little bit more playing time, a little bit. But
they calling the Colts up again about Jonathan Taylor.
Maybe. I mean, and I would not be surprised if Dillon is thrown in there too. I mean, again, the running lanes weren't great because, again, we're missing the left side. Not a ton of players found a lot of success. I told you Jordan Love was our leading rusher. But, dude, we have no run game unless you have Aaron Jones. And usually Dillon gets better as the season goes along, and it's only week 3, but it's not there right now. So, yeah. Seattle Lumen was so loud yesterday, too. It was insane.
The what?
Lumen, the field, the.
Oh.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton came in, threw it 58 times.
Yep.
But Seattle, I thought the Seahawks would win this game. And I thought actually Andy Dalton would give the Panthers a better chance to win. Both of those things were true.
Perna,
but,
I'm sorry. Can you dismiss this, please? Like, it's not.
No, guys.
It's
Russell,
not.
can I say Russell? I can say with more clarity than ever. Russell Wilson did not allow the Dolphins to score 70 points, man. Now, you could argue that the Broncos had to give up too much to get Russell Wilson. Therefore, the holes in their team are glaring because of the lopsided trade. But, man, don't pin an all-time historically bad, and like I said, the worst defensive performance ever on Russell Wilson, who, even when he's completing passes downfield, is getting lit up. There's 2 deep shots he throws in that game. He gets rocked. I'm more impressed with Russell Wilson now than I have ever been with his tenure with the Broncos. So don't poo-poo on a man who is actually out there fucking playing, and the defense gave up on him in the offense. His wide receiver, Courtland Sutton, turns the ball over twice. If Russ were to blame for something, I would do it. Trust me. I'm not. I want to call it straight. But
Browns, I think we're starting to talk about them best defense in football. Like they're close. The Titans.
Did you see the play where the Titans kept sending both of their tight ends in motion wherever Myles Garrett was going? So it was like Garrett kept switching sides, and the Titans tight ends were
just following along,
just trying to block Garrett. And I thought this game, I think I picked Tennessee to win because
I did too.
Oh, 2 of the grittiest defenses out there. Deshaun Watson was not playing good football at all. And then he way outplayed Ryan Tannehill. His best game of the season so far.
And he still didn't look amazing.
No.
That's a thing too.
He didn't look amazing, but this was the worst rushing performance the Browns have had so far as well. So it's a good win for Cleveland after just
they held Derrick Henry to 20 yards.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's pretty.
If I'm Derrick Henry, I'd be like, that's just my age catching up to me in this game.
Yeah, right.
I'll be back next week.
But yeah, the Browns defense is really good. And they're going to keep them in games.
Let's say this too about the Cardinals.
Too, real quick, I know this is old news, but dude, the fact that it's only his MCL.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, we never talked about it because that news came out late. Yeah, dude, that's amazing. And so 6 to 8 months recovery, he should be back by the time next season. Hell yeah, let's go.
Just tore his MCL, and did Schefter tweet that he also did not dislocate his knee?
I don't know. I didn't see that, but I just saw it was just MCL, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah. But okay, so the Cardinals they let DeAndre Hopkins go. We gave him a lot of crap for it. He hasn't helped Tennessee much so far.
Well, their offense is so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Tennessee's offense is just bad.
But that's the Cardinals got a lot of heat, and so far they're looking like they've made the right moves. Maybe that changes by week 10. Don't know yet.
They should have still gotten something, but
this
good God, Zach Wilson.
No surprise.
No, it's Garrett Wilson was getting really pissed on the sideline too. It's just they had nothing. And it's so that team is so good, except for the offensive line and their quarterback.
Yeah. I'm so happy that the wide receiver cliche just continues to be true every year. Like when they're not eating out there, they're the first player to get pissed off on the sideline.
Yeah.
It's Garrett Wilson, it's Diggs, it's Judy, it's whoever. It is just that's what you got to be a wide receiver. You got to want that ball, and when it's not coming to you and you're not able to help your team, because the only way you can help your team is if your quarterback gets you the ball, it drives you nuts. And I think that's what it is about being a receiver. Like your QB has to get you the ball so you can do your thing. And if he's not, you're just like, what the hell? And I saw a thing about Zach Wilson when not being pressured, when his offensive line wins, statistically, he is the worst quarterback in the NFL, ranked at 34. It's from Next Gen Stats. That's a bad stat to have, right? You see quarterbacks who are pretty good, and then when they're pressured, they're really bad. or when they're blitzed, they're actually feasting type shit. When the quarterback's protected and you're playing at the worst level, that's rough for the Jets, for Jets fans. This is the most predictable score all week. 15-10 Patriots win. Mac Jones for Zach Wilson. That is it.
I've been checking this entire time while we've been live. And Brandon Perna, your video is the 5th most popular video on YouTube right now.
On YouTube?
Boom. 5th on trending, baby. Let's go. Let's
go.
Oh
my goodness.
Let's go, baby. Let's
go.
Let's go. Right there. 1.
I don't think I've ever cracked top 30, Tom.
4, 5. Let's go.
Wow.
I've been checking the whole show. I've been waiting because they originally updated and they didn't have yours on there. I was about to be pissed. Let's go.
Wow.
Congrats, buddy. Let's go.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Holy crap. Hey.
Let's go.
It's stupid. It's a silver lining that if your football team does poorly, you do well as a creator. And to do this for 10 years and have just the worst loss I have ever seen be the reason that my video does historically well. Not cool. Not really a cool spot to be in. But thanks for tracking that.
Oh, I got you, buddy.
I would not have.
Oh, no, I got you. I got you.
You good man.
I got you. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right. What other games do we need to take a look at?
We talked Bears, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Steelers, Raiders.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Talk about that.
Last game of the day. That's right, Bob. That's right. Buffalo all the way this time, Bob. All right. I said I would rather have Josh McDaniels as my head coach last night, Tom, yesterday. In a moment of weakness. Moment of weakness. His decision to kick a field goal on 4th and 3 from the 8-yard line, 7-yard line. Down 8. I think it's the all-time cowardly call. So weird that Hunter Renfrow is non-existent in the Raiders offense. Devontae Adams had a game, but
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Devontae had it.
Yeah, you could have had the Raiders. You could have the Steelers pinned there if you don't, get it back. And if your thinking is, I trust my defense to get the ball back, why don't you trust them with the Steelers backed up on the 7-yard line?
Yeah, they had the 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning too. So I was like, I kind of get it, but it's not.
No,
it's not ideal. And again, the defense, because it's so funny watching this game because the Steelers defense is really good. It is very, very good defense.
Yeah.
Because they were in the beginning, the only things that were working were these deep shots. It was 4th and short. They went for it. And Devontae Adams, they threw a touchdown. They decided to go deep with it. Right. Kenny Pickett throws along that. It was just these deep shots. Then it was just a defensive kind of game. Steelers started to pull away and then the Raiders started to come back a little bit. But yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo did not look great. He was under pressure a lot, but he did not look great. And then throw it on top of that. Neither team really had a run game, but for Najee Harris, this was his best game in a while.
Yeah. It's
Devontae.
This is the kind of game we thought Kenny Pickett would be doing after the preseason, right? 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. To me, that's the Brock Purdy stat line as well.
Yep.
But I'll caution Steelers fans to not expect this every week because I just don't think the Raiders defense is that good. They suffered some injuries in this game. So don't get too excited about that. But I think it was TJ Watt. I saw he had 6 pressures and 2 sacks in this game going up against I forget the Raiders tackle who'd only allowed 1 sack so far or had an incredibly low pressure rate that he'd allowed through the first couple games. So yeah, he's still a monster. And Steelers, you're going to be okay. It's going to be an ugly season, Your defense is going to keep you in some games, but
Yes.
it is probably the most perfect way for Steelers football to be, honestly. And I can't really talk too much trash to the Raiders. So I'll give you a pass. You lost. Wasn't as bad as the way the Broncos lost.
Is it? Tonight we got 2 Monday night games again. We got Rams Bengals, the late game, but you don't know if Joe Burrow is playing. And it's this weird, like, it makes sense not to play Joe Burrow if he's hurt, right?
Yeah.
But then the risk of going 0-3 goes up significantly. And if you start that, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like that's
I mean,
real.
they signed AJ McCarron, right? Who just had a nice season in the XFL, returns home to the Bengals. So that's interesting. But
yeah, that one. And then listen, Eagles Bucks could be a good game. It's 2 undefeated teams. There's not many left. I saw that. There's not many left. So that's gonna be an interesting game. If Joe Burrow doesn't play, then I'll stream that game instead. But Mike Williams officially tore his ACL. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I
saw Patty Mahomes is okay. Like, he's okay, but yep. And then 1 minute ago he tore his ACL. That's brutal.
Yeah,
That's freaking brutal.
Working on the next episode. I'm like, this is it's such a Chargers like storyline where their passing game finally looks like the way, like for fans, like the way they want it to. Herbert, 40 of 47, 405 yards. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen like going off. And the last season, it was injuries to both those guys, and now they're without Mike Williams.
Yeah,
just like another crushing blow to the Chargers. And I'm rooting for you Chargers to win the division. Okay. I've given you your grief, your guff, your whatever, but please finish ahead of the Chiefs, man. I'm sorry about the Ravens.
Someone's got to score. I mean, well, the Dolphins did a lot.
Yeah.
I guess they did. Yeah, I know. We just talked about that. So congratulations to freaking Brandon Frack and Perna. Listen, folks, if you're watching here, a bunch of people watch. We had over 9,000 people checking out our stream today. Go over, like that video, comment on it, support it, get Perna all the way up there. That's what we got to do. We got to support each other. So
this is the whole point of this show. If you're
Perna
watching my channel and you haven't subbed to Tom yet, sub to Tom.
No,
this is how we do it. We share.
Perna, listen. I know Perna worked his ass off to get that video out last night. I know you did, because it ended and I was like, he has to put out. I was gonna text you, but I was like, I'm gonna wait. I was like, he has to get something out. I didn't see a short video, and I was like, okay, I think he's probably doing it. So everyone's asking, like, have you checked on Perna? I'm like, no, I'm letting him work. He's probably in the cave right now. He's probably grinding, going, and hard work paid off, my friend.
Yeah, I texted you back like at 11 or something, and I was like, thanks for like, you said something nice, and I was like, thank you. I just came up for air, basically.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. So congratulations, buddy. That's great.
Look at this. Bangle giving me $50. Bangle. Greatest Phillip Rivers clip still on the internet. You know what?
Then we can give it to him.
Where
you gonna do it?
Where's my? Hold on.
Are you looking for the Phillip Rivers one?
Yeah.
Hold on, I got you. It's one of the later ones. It's worth it. It's worth it. What the hell is
when I say natural family planning, many people probably wonder what in the world is that, and it was a fancy word for no contraception. You do it all off your wife's cycle and what days she's most fertile, what days she's not fertile, so therefore you can together either really try to have a child or really not.
You don't remember Glory Hole?
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was Glory Hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some Glory Hole.
So does Phillip Rivers. That's it. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
Nothing, I don't think. Good. Maybe, and I'll be working on winners and losers, but with 2 games tonight, that'll come up tomorrow morning. So just enjoy watching me be miserable from the worst game ever.
All right.
What do you got, Tommy?
If the NFL was scripted, week 3 is going to come out. That's going to be a thing now, and I got lots of plans for that. Every NFL fan's reaction going to come out after Monday Night Football, and I'll be streaming one of the games tonight as well.
Tight.
Gonna be rocking, baby. We're gonna be rocking. But listen, Perna's less than 50K away from 500K. Let's get him there. Woo. Let's get him there, baby. But folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. But thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your distant